On ESPN's NBA Countdown program, former Celtics star Paul Pierce initiated a heated debate during the live broadcast. "Everyone talks about Kobe's legacy," said Pierce, "and they say LeBron is carrying this legacy. I think that's completely wrong." Jalen Rose and Magic Johnson, himself a Lakers legend, looked at each other in astonishment. Pierce continued, "That mental toughness, that Mamba mentality we talk about, something LeBron has never shown throughout his career." Just as Magic Johnson was about to object, he paused at the message coming through his earpiece. "Paul," said Magic, with an incredible expression in his eyes, "LeBron James is watching us right now and wants to join the program to respond to your comments." The pen in Pierce's hand dropped to the floor, and a tense silence filled the studio. Welcome to the Famous Stories channel. Whatever city you're watching from, please write it in the comments below. If you're curious about unknown and never-before-heard truths, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our videos. As tension increased in the studio, LeBron James's image appeared on the screen. There was an unusual seriousness on his face. "Hello, Paul," said LeBron, with a slight tremor in his voice. "I don't normally respond to comments, but what you said about Kobe." LeBron paused for a moment, trying to control his emotions. "There's something you don't know, Paul. I spoke with Kobe just a few hours before his passing, and I have things to tell you today that I've never shared before." The studio fell completely silent. Magic Johnson's eyes welled up. Jalen Rose leaned forward. Paul Pierce's facial expression froze in shock. LeBron continued, "Kobe told me something that nobody knows, and I'm going to reveal it for the first time today." In that last conversation, before LeBron could finish his sentence, the screen darkened for a brief commercial. This dramatic moment locked viewers to their screens, encouraging them to continue watching the program to learn the secret LeBron was about to reveal. What had Kobe really said to LeBron in the final hours of his life? And how would this secret affect the relationship between Kobe's legacy and LeBron? NBA Countdown was one of ESPN's most prestigious basketball programs. Each week, former NBA stars and experienced sports commentators gathered to discuss current basketball topics. The program's hosts included Magic Johnson, Paul Pierce, Jalen Rose, and host Maria Taylor. That evening, the program had begun as usual, discussing the latest developments in the NBA. They chatted about teams' playoff chances, injuries, and league leaders. However, for the final segment, Maria Taylor brought the topic to Kobe Bryant's basketball legacy. "It's been a year since Kobe Bryant's passing," said Taylor, as the atmosphere in the studio suddenly became serious. "And many people are talking about how his legacy will be preserved. Who do you think is best carrying on this legacy in the NBA?" Magic Johnson, himself a Lakers legend, was the first to respond. "I think LeBron James best represents Kobe's legacy under the Lakers jersey. They're playing for the same team. LeBron's respect for Kobe, and everything he's done to keep his memory alive, it's really meaningful." Jalen Rose nodded approvingly. "I absolutely agree. When LeBron won that championship in Kobe's memory and said, 'This one's for you, Kobe,' it was very emotional. Plus he lives the Mamba mentality every day." However, Paul Pierce was sitting with a facial expression indicating he disagreed with these comments. Maria Taylor noticed this and turned to him. "Paul, you don't seem very convinced. What do you think?" Pierce took a deep breath and then made his striking statement. "Look, Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest players in basketball history. We all agree on that. But," Pierce paused for a moment, as if he knew his words would create controversy. "Everyone talks about Kobe's legacy and they say LeBron is carrying this legacy. I think that's completely wrong." There was silence in the studio. Magic Johnson and Jalen Rose looked at each other in surprise. Maria Taylor raised her eyebrows. "Why do you think that, Paul?" "Because," said Pierce with a definitive tone in his voice, "that mental toughness, that Mamba mentality we talk about, something LeBron has never shown throughout his career." Magic Johnson immediately wanted to object. "Paul, that's not fair, LeBron," but Pierce cut him off. "Let me finish, Magic. Kobe Bryant was a player who would do anything to win on the court. He never hesitated to take the last shot. He performed his best under pressure. LeBron, on the other hand, has chosen to pass in critical moments many times throughout his career. Remember the 2011 finals, how he disappeared against Dallas?" Jalen Rose interjected. "But Paul, that was 12 years ago. Since then, LeBron has won 4 championships, and carrying Kobe's legacy isn't just about playing style, it's also about upholding his values." Pierce shook his head. "No, Jalen. Kobe's legacy is exactly about playing style. That killer instinct, that ruthless competitiveness, I don't see that in LeBron. Frankly speaking, LeBron James is not worthy of Kobe Bryant's basketball legacy." These words created a shock effect in the studio. Magic Johnson's face fell. Jalen Rose looked at Pierce in astonishment. Maria Taylor tried to control the discussion. Paul, that's quite a harsh criticism. Pierce continued. It might be harsh, but it's honest. Kobe stayed with the same team throughout his career and won 5 championships. LeBron constantly changed teams, built super teams. This doesn't align with Kobe's legacy of loyalty and overcoming challenges. Magic Johnson finally managed to interject. Paul, this comparison isn't fair. Every player has their own journey. LeBron has always had great respect for Kobe and is doing everything he can to keep his memory alive. The tension in the studio was palpable. The debate had touched on a sensitive topic that resonated deeply with basketball fans worldwide. Maria Taylor, sensing the escalating emotions, attempted to shift the focus slightly. Let's take a step back for a moment, she said. Kobe's impact on the game goes beyond statistics or playing style. His influence on the next generation of players is undeniable. Paul, wouldn't you agree that part of Kobe's legacy is how he inspired others? Pierce nodded reluctantly. Yes, of course. Kobe inspired countless players, including LeBron. I'm not denying that, but inspiration and actually embodying those qualities are two different things. Jalen Rose leaned forward, his voice measured but firm. What about the work ethic, Paul? If there's one thing Kobe was known for beyond his playing style, it was his legendary work ethic. The 4 a.m. workouts, the attention to detail, the constant drive to improve. LeBron has shown that same dedication throughout his career. Pierce was about to respond when Magic Johnson added, and let's not forget, Kobe himself evolved throughout his career. Early Kobe and late career Kobe were different players. He learned to trust teammates more, to mentor younger players. LeBron has always excelled at that aspect of leadership. The conversation was becoming more nuanced, delving deeper into what truly constituted Kobe Bryant's legacy. Each analyst brought their personal experiences with Kobe into the discussion, creating a multifaceted portrait of the Lakers' legend. Remember, Magic continued, I had conversations with Kobe about LeBron even before LeBron joined the Lakers. Kobe had enormous respect for LeBron's game, his basketball IQ, his ability to see the floor. These were qualities Kobe himself admired. Paul Pierce seemed unmoved. Respect is one thing, being the torchbearer for his legacy is another. If we're talking about players who truly embody Kobe's mentality, I'd sooner look at someone like Devin Booker or Jason Tatum. Maria Taylor turned directly to the camera. We'd love to hear what our viewers think about this. Who do you believe is best carrying Kobe Bryant's legacy in today's NBA? Let us know in the comments below or on social media with the hashtag #KobeLegacy. Just as Pierce was about to respond, a voice was heard through Magic Johnson's earpiece. Magic's facial expression suddenly changed, first surprise then disbelief. Paul, said Magic, with an incredible expression in his eyes, LeBron James is watching us right now and wants to join the program to respond to your comments. A sudden silence fell over the studio. The pen in Paul Pierce's hand dropped to the floor. Jalen Rose leaned forward in astonishment. Maria Taylor looked toward the producer, trying to confirm if this was real. Yes, said Magic, confirming the information from his earpiece. LeBron is connecting right now. Paul, it looks like you'll have a chance to explain your comments directly to him. Pierce swallowed but tried to maintain his professional composure. That's fine, I stand behind what I said. The production team scrambled to establish the connection. Technicians could be seen rushing around the edges of the set, working to bring LeBron into the broadcast. The tension in the studio was electric. This unexpected development had transformed a routine basketball discussion into a potentially historic television moment. After a few seconds of technical preparation, LeBron James appeared on the large screen in the studio. He had connected from his home, was wearing a simple t-shirt, and had an unusually serious expression on his face.
Good evening, Magic, Jalen, Maria, said LeBron, then turned his gaze to Pierce. And hello, Paul.
Maria Taylor immediately tried to take control of the situation. LeBron, thank you for joining our program. I guess you heard Paul's comments. Yes, I heard them, said LeBron in a calm voice. I don't normally respond to these kinds of comments. I've received many criticisms throughout my career, and I've gotten used to them. But what was said about Kobe, this is different. Paul Pierce responded with a defensive attitude. LeBron, all I said was... LeBron gently cut him off. Paul, I listened to you. Now it's time for you to listen to me. There's something you don't know. I spoke with Kobe just a few hours before his passing. A deep silence immediately fell over the studio. Magic Johnson's eyes welled up. Everyone was eagerly waiting to hear what LeBron had to say. That day he called me, LeBron continued, his voice trembling slightly. He had congratulated me for passing him in Philadelphia. "Continue to move the game forward, brother," he had said. This was the last message I received from him. LeBron paused for a moment, trying to control his emotions. "But Paul, there was another conversation I had with Kobe a few weeks before his passing that I want to share with you and everyone." Pierce's facial expression had begun to soften. He no longer looked defensive but curious. "I was talking with Kobe after a Lakers game," said LeBron. "He said to me, 'I hear what they're saying about you, LeBron. They say you don't have the Mamba mentality.' I laugh at that." Everyone in the studio was paying close attention. Magic Johnson and Jalen Rose had leaned forward. "Kobe continued," said LeBron, imitating Kobe's voice, "because Mamba mentality isn't expressed in just one way. Your path is different, my path was different. But we both have the same passion for excellence. You just show it differently." Paul Pierce's expression had completely changed. He was no longer defensive but listening carefully. "And then he told me this, Paul," LeBron continued, looking directly at Pierce. "I see you as the only person who can carry my legacy, because you're not just a scorer, but also someone who makes your teammates better. This is an ability I never had." Tears were streaming down Magic Johnson's face. Jalen Rose was nodding approvingly. Maria Taylor was listening in amazement. "Kobe always told me to be myself," LeBron continued. "He told me not to try to be like him. 'You have your own legacy, LeBron,' he had said. 'If you want to honor my legacy, go your own way. Move the game forward." A deep silence reigned in the studio. Everyone felt the weight of LeBron's words. "Kobe and I were different players, Paul," said LeBron, with no resentment in his voice now. "Yes, he would never hesitate to take the final shot. I sometimes prefer to pass, but that doesn't mean I don't have the Mamba mentality. For me, Mamba mentality means being the best version of myself on the court, representing my team in the best way, and moving the game forward." Paul Pierce finally seemed ready to speak. LeBron gently cut him off again. "Paul, let me say one more thing. Kobe's passing affected all of us deeply. For me, it was indescribably difficult." LeBron's voice trembled slightly, his eyes beginning to well up. "When I heard about that helicopter crash, I couldn't believe it. I was on a plane, returning to Los Angeles. The person next to me showed me the news and I just cried. I cried for hours." Everyone in the studio had become emotional. Magic Johnson was silently wiping away his tears. Jalen Rose had bowed his head. There was no longer a defensive expression on Paul Pierce's face, just deep sorrow. "That night," LeBron continued, "I thought about what I could do to honor Kobe, and the answer was simple: continue to play the game as he loved it. Show up on the court every day and give my best." LeBron raised his arm and showed the tattoo on his wrist, the Mamba for Life tattoo he got in honor of Kobe. "I got this because I carry Kobe's legacy every day," said LeBron. "But Paul, it's not like you said. I'm not trying to play like Kobe. What Kobe taught me was that I needed to be myself." An emotional moment was happening in the studio. Maria Taylor spoke, trying to hold back tears. "LeBron, that was a very powerful share. How will you continue to preserve Kobe's legacy?" LeBron took a deep breath. "By showing up on the court every day and giving my best. By mentoring young players. By remembering that Kobe was not just a basketball player but also a father, a husband, a businessman. By explaining that his legacy wasn't just the points he scored on the court." Paul Pierce finally found the courage to speak. "LeBron, first of all, thank you for joining the program. And maybe I made an unfair assessment about carrying Kobe's legacy." Pierce paused for a moment, as if searching for the right words. "I competed against Kobe. I faced him on the court. I saw that competitiveness, that ruthless desire to win up close. And maybe that's why I defined his legacy in such a narrow way." LeBron nodded understandingly. "I understand, Paul. Competing against Kobe was different from being his friend. He was two different people on and off the court." "Yes," said Pierce, "and maybe I only saw Kobe on the court. But what you told us, that last conversation, this changes my perspective." Magic Johnson interjected. "LeBron, those words Kobe shared with you are truly special. And I agree with you, Mamba mentality isn't expressed in just one way. Every great player finds their own path." Jalen Rose also joined the conversation. "And LeBron, you've definitely found your own path. You don't just score, you also make your teammates better." This was something Kobe learned over time as well. The atmosphere in the studio had completely changed. What had initially been a tense and controversial environment was now filled with respect and understanding. "There's one more thing," said LeBron, his voice becoming a bit more serious. "Paul, as you said, Kobe stayed with one team throughout his career. I've played for different teams, but what Kobe told me was, Your journey is different, and that's perfectly okay. What matters is not where you go, but what you do where you go. Paul Pierce nodded. That sounds exactly like Kobe. And he added, LeBron continued, smiling slightly, if you wear the Lakers jersey, play for all of us. Not just for me, but for Magic, for Kareem, for Shaq, for all of us. A broad smile appeared on Magic Johnson's face. That's Kobe's legacy. Not just his own achievements, but being part of Lakers history. LeBron nodded approvingly. Absolutely, and that's what I'm trying to do, Magic, every day. Maria Taylor wanted to wrap up this emotional moment. LeBron, thank you for sharing these very special memories with us today. Paul, have your thoughts changed? Paul Pierce took a deep breath. Yes, they have. I didn't know about LeBron's special relationship with Kobe, and maybe I defined Mamba mentality too narrowly. Pierce turned directly to LeBron. LeBron, if Kobe saw you as someone who could carry his legacy, I have nothing to say. How he saw you is much more important than my thoughts. LeBron nodded. Thank you, Paul, and I want you to know, Kobe greatly respected you as a player. He enjoyed competing against you. Pierce smiled. That means a lot, LeBron. Thank you. There was now an atmosphere of reconciliation in the studio. Magic Johnson, wiping away his tears, spoke, Kobe's legacy continues to bring us all together. This is one of his greatest achievements. Maria Taylor was preparing to end the program. LeBron, finally, what do you plan to do in the future to keep Kobe's memory alive? LeBron thought for a moment, then answered decisively, I'll continue to support Kobe's Mamba Academy. I'll stand by Vanessa Bryant. I'll keep Gigi Bryant's memory alive. And every day I'll step on the court, and as Kobe taught, move the game forward. LeBron looked directly at the camera, his eyes filled with tears. And Kobe, if you're watching us, don't worry, brother, we're keeping your legacy alive. Mamba mentality will live forever. An emotional silence fell over the studio. Maria Taylor spoke her final words. We thank LeBron James for this very special and emotional share. With Paul Pierce, Magic Johnson, and Jalen Rose, I'm Maria Taylor. Good night from NBA Countdown. When the cameras turned off, everyone in the studio stood up. Paul Pierce approached the screen, as if wanting to speak directly to LeBron. LeBron, I truly apologize. I didn't know Kobe's relationship with you was this deep. LeBron nodded. It's okay, Paul. We all knew Kobe in different ways. What's important is that we preserve his legacy together. Magic Johnson turned to LeBron. You did something very important here today, LeBron. You honored Kobe's memory, and reminded all of us that basketball is more than just a game. LeBron smiled. Thank you, Magic. Kobe was not just a competitor to me, but also a big brother, a mentor, and a friend. Keeping his memory alive every day is my responsibility. As the program ended, an unexpected atmosphere of reconciliation and understanding had formed in the studio. The debate started by Paul Pierce, with LeBron James's unexpected and emotional intervention, had turned into a dialogue that revealed the true meaning of Kobe Bryant's legacy. That night, the basketball world talked about this sincere and emotional moment. On social media, LeBron's words about Kobe and Paul Pierce's changing attitude went viral. Fans appreciated former rivals coming together in Kobe's memory. Kobe Bryant's legacy was not just the points he scored on the court, the championships he won, but also the impact he left on the basketball world, the players he inspired, and his unifying power. And that night, in the ESPN studio, this legacy emerged in all its reality. The next day, LeBron James shared a photo with Kobe on Instagram. Underneath, he wrote just these words, Mamba mentality forever. 824. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. What do you think about this topic? Please write in the comments below. See you in the next video. Retry. Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.